Good morning, my friends. Happy Fun Friday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, fabulous day. Did any of you feel that earthquake this morning? That was crazy. I think it was one of the biggest earthquakes that I remember feeling, and it actually might be, gosh, I'm trying to think if I even remember feeling any other earthquakes. I often sleep through them or don't notice them. Connor will come home and say, "Did you feel an earthquake?" And for the past several years, my answer has always been, there was an earthquake. I usually don't feel it, or I feel something, but I don't recognize it as being an earthquake until someone says that was an earthquake. And I'm like, oh, okay. But last night's, or early this morning, that was a crazy earthquake. I hope you guys are all safe and sound. Nothing really happened at my house. There were a couple cracks on my patio that already existed that are kind of just a little bigger now, but nothing too bad. Anyway, it is now time for my favorite part of the day. It's time for the math question of the day. Yeah. So this is actually our last math question of the day. And the fun part is we're going to go over yesterday's math question, how we could have solved yesterday's math question. And then, because in this module 6, we would just be doing a lot of reviewing about shapes and using shape blocks to put different shapes together, I thought it might be fun if you guys picked one or two shape songs to just kind of listen to and review. So I'll put some links in the description box below, and you can pick a 3D shape song. We have the Singing Walrus does a 2D and a 3D shape song, and then there's These Are the 3D Shapes That I Know song that we like. And then I want to say Jack Hartman does like a shapes review game. So I'll put like 3 or 4 different videos in the description box that you can listen to after we go over yesterday's math question. So really today's math question of the day is to review some shape songs. So we'll jump into what yesterday's was. So we had this kind of house looking shape, and I asked you guys to think of ways that you could make this shape using other shapes. So I'm going to use my black marker here, and I'm going to just show some different ways that we could have created this shape. So one of the first ways that I see is just if we had used one triangle and one square shape. I also saw some friends do this. So maybe we had 2 rectangles and 2 triangles. You could also say that maybe we did something like this, where we had lots of little triangles and then 2 rectangles. And then I also think we could cut these even more, and maybe we only used triangles to make this shape. So if you had a bunch of triangle little blocks, you could mush them all together. Like those shape blocks, the big foam shape blocks that we have, and then the little ones that we can use at the table. This is kind of like an activity like that. And then I also saw someone do something like this. So you could have had like almost like a trapezoid shape. So that could have been fun. All right, let me see. Let me start over. I could not figure out a way to put a hexagon in here. So if you figured out a way to put a hexagon inside the house shape, let me know, because I could not figure it out. But you also could have done something like this, where you had a lot of little rectangles and then the triangles, and you could have even cut those even further, and then you could have had some of those be made by lots of triangles, something like that. There are lots of different ways that we could have made this kind of house-looking shape using smaller shape blocks. But I think one of the easiest things would have been if we had had one big square shape and then one big triangle shape like that. But you guys came up with lots of different ways to create those shapes, and I thought that was really fun. You guys are doing a great job. I'm going to put those review song links in the description box, and then feel free to pick whichever one you want to do. Hopefully I see you today during our go-to meeting. It might be a little wonky because this is the first go-to meeting that I will be running. Usually I'm just a participant in other meetings, so we'll see if I can get the meeting up and running smoothly. We'll find out. It'll be fine, I'm sure. All right, my friends, I miss you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!